Hello. I am getting ready for bed, and something in my soul just told me to turn on the camera before I lose my nerve and record my thoughts as they're coming to me in hopes that this can give me some perspective at some point when I'm at the other end of this dark tunnel that I seem to be swimming through in the moment, or possibly help someone else down the line. I don't know if anyone else will see this. Don't know why I'm recording this aside from my own reflection. So, I am a New York City native and I am approaching my 50th birthday. Yay for me in September. It is now, today's date is August 3rd, 2023, and on September 22nd, I will turn 50 years old. So I have, as I've mentioned, I'm a New York City native, and I am currently living in south of France. I've been here for almost 2 years. Yeah, actually, in a few weeks, it'll be officially 2 years. So let's just say 2 years. And of course, at first, the biggest challenge was really immersing myself in the language. However, I did not arrive here fluent in French. That was part of the journey. I arrived as a student, but that's not even important right now. So, long story short, I am actually in a beautiful subleased apartment. I'm here for another week. And the reason I'm filming this is because I find myself in a very precarious situation. I am in between apartments right now. I have about 3, maybe 4 weeks to find another place to live. And France is a very cosmopolitan culture. However, it is a very innocuous culture. Uh, they're very, they love to engage with expats, particularly Americans. However, when it comes down to doing business or renting to you, they definitely would rather go with their own. And X is a city, a beautiful city, but it is a relatively small city. And therefore, there's not a lot of apartments available. And I have been searching for an apartment since May. Now, I've been working, so that was not a challenge of mine. However, I was slotted for a full time position. I've been teaching English to French students for the past year or so, and I was supposed to receive a full time post in Marseille starting next month. I just got word a couple of weeks ago from the program, actually, like a week ago, a program director who has recruited me, that it doesn't look like they're going to have the availability for me right now. So not only am I between apartments, but it turns out that I don't have a job. I don't have a job, or at least job offer. I am still in the process. I am still, technically, I'm still in school. In the States, I take my classes online, and that's a whole nother story. I ended up having to drop all of my classes this summer because I was just burnt out, but also just it was just became too much trying to find an apartment while navigating that. So I had to drop my classes so I can focus solely on finding an apartment. I have been working. I have been working at a very prestigious school in Aix-en-Provence. Well, we'll go into that. But a very prestigious school. I'm well paid. I'm very happy there. However, it's only for the summer at the moment. And that's the way things go here, particularly with teachers. Literally, you have a contract that has a beginning and an end date, so as you can understand. And then your next contract literally begins like the weekend after next or the following week when the new school year picks up. So it's interesting because proprietors are hesitant to rent to you if they're even considering renting to an expat or foreigner or an immigrant, however you want to call it, as it is. So that's definitely been weighing against me. But now I found out that I don't even have that income security to budget off of. So the real reason I'm filming this is because I was I was on the phone with a very good friend of mine that I've been very fortunate to have since coming here. And she's also an expat, also from New York. And she's been sharing with me a lot of insights, particularly uh, female perspective insights into matriculating into the culture. And it's a lot more than just the language, it's a lot about the unspoken communication. And fortunately, I happen to be a communications major, but I'm a communications major in the States. So I've always been very extroverted, very outgoing, and people love that. However, her advice was, and it got to the point where it wasn't even a conversation. I just sat there and let her ramble. I just sat there and let her pontificate. I just sat there and listened. And it's stuff that I've heard her say before, but of course, this situation makes it all that more poignant to hear where she's coming from. Evidently, in France, people don't want to know people don't want to hear what they call complaining. And for me, it's like, okay, if I don't tell people I'm looking for an apartment, how will I find an apartment? She's like, oh, nobody wants to hear that you're looking for an apartment. They consider that complaining. They just want to see you as fun and the exotic American who's from New York City, and they just want to live vicariously through you. They don't want to know too much. So the less you say, the better, which of course is very challenging for me, and also plays into, oh gosh, it just weighs heavily on I guess my self confidence moving forward, as far as like, am I saying too much? Am I saying too little? Blah, 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 blah. Because in my experience, when I don't say very much, people are either intimidated by me, they find me standoffish, they find me stuck up, whatever. I've never cared what anybody had to say about me because it's quite frankly, that's not my business. And I've often found that people don't like themselves very much. So what they feel about me is really not an issue. However, being out here, I'm not on my own home turf. So 50 years of experience kind of started out the window starting from scratch. So again, I just decided to turn on this camera and record my thoughts and just kind of start charting my journey. And but what her advice was also not just to, not tell all my business. I mean, I don't feel the need to tell everybody my business, but like I said, I share with people that I am looking for an apartment because, a lot of things get handled through the grapevine, as we like to say. So, going forward, but she did say to me that was very interesting, that I found pretty interesting, and I want to see how I can start reformulating, is that basically, and I was thinking to myself that this is probably a really good opportunity for me to reach higher and rebrand myself, because I did not go back to school at middle age to do something that I could have done 20 years ago. Okay, I went back to school. Now, mind you, I never went back to school for the degree. The degree, in my opinion, doesn't mean anything. I went back for the networks. I went back for the opportunities. I went back for the relationships. Okay, which is how I ended up here through study abroad program, and study abroad program got internships, and internships later led to job offers. So, which is why I'm here. Like I said, I still had job offers. I just did not get the one that I was anticipating on having in this coming September. So, that may still happen, but quite frankly, I'm already looking forward to reaching higher. So again, reaching higher, that's basically it. And she said, you can be what you want to be. Let people live vicariously through you. Create a whole new version of yourself, and that is the version you will share. So I'm looking at this as quite an interesting experiment for myself. So that's why I'm turning this on. So we're going to consider this day one of this experiment, Thursday, August 3rd. It is 10 minutes to 11 here in Aix-en-Provence. I am 6 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. So let the journey begin and let's see what happens. All right, good night.